In this video, we'll walk through some tips for controlling your view of the data and keeping the most important elements visible and on screen when you need them. Here we have a relatively medium-sized data set of NFL football player statistics. Each row represents a football player, more precisely a quarterback for a football team, and we have 38 different players. And each column represents a statistical category, such as the number of touchdowns the quarterback threw, or the number of times he's attempted a throw. Things are pretty clean, but as we move around the data set, we may run into some frustrations. For instance, let's say I'm interested in the player named Drew Lock, and I want to know his rating, which is listed here in column N. So I scroll to column N, but now I don't know where Drew Lock is. So I scroll back to column A to see that Drew Lock is listed in row 33. And if I follow row 33 across, shoot, now I don't remember which column has the rating I'm looking for. What would be nice is if I could lock into view the top row and the first column. Then I wouldn't get lost in my own data. To do this, we use the Freeze Panes button located on the View ribbon. So select View, then Freeze Panes. Now we're presented with three options. We can freeze the first column, and if we do this, then no matter how far we scan to the left or right, we will always see the data in the first column. In this case, we will always see which player the row is tied to. Or we could freeze the top row. Now, no matter how far up or down we scan, we can always see the variable names listed on the top row. Once we've frozen a selection, to unfreeze it, we can select this Unfreeze Panes button. Finally, we can freeze at any cell. So if I picked a random cell, like this one here, and then selected Freeze Panes, it would freeze everything above and to the left of this cell. So if I move up and down, rows 1 through 10 remain frozen, and if I move side to side, columns A through D remain frozen. Let's unfreeze our selection. Where this option really makes sense is if we want to freeze both the top row and the first column. So we can select the cell at B2 and click the Freeze Panes option. Now everything to the left of B2 freezes, which means the first column freezes, and everything above B2 freezes, which means the first row freezes. Now, anywhere I navigate, I can see both the player and the stat category. So back to my challenge before, finding Drew Lock's rating. Now it's a breeze. When I scroll down to his name and then scroll across to the rating column, I can easily see that this is the cell here that lists Drew Lock's rating.